If your law firm is busy, your calendar's full, your team is working, and you're still not seeing the profit you expected in your bank account, there's a very good chance you have a realization problem. And the reason this is so dangerous is because most law firm owners don't even know what's happening. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly what realization rate is, how to calculate it, and why it is one of the biggest hidden profit leaks in your firm. So, what is realization rate? Let's start simple. Realization rate answers one question. Of all the work you actually did, how much of it did you actually get paid for? Okay, so this doesn't mean what you build, not what your rates say. It's what you actually collected. Because here's the reality. You can have high hourly rates, you can have a full pipeline, and you can have strong revenue on your P&L and still be losing money before it even hits your bank account. That's what realization is. There are actually three places where revenue leaks out. First is time worked versus time billed. And this is where write downs happen. You or your team records all your time, but you don't bill all of it. Why? Maybe you feel it took too long. Maybe you feel like the client won't pay a higher bill. Maybe you discount before the invoice even goes out. That is your billing realization problem. So here's the second way it leaks out: time billed versus time collected. So you get the invoice out, but you don't collect all of it. And this is where more write offs happen. Either the clients don't pay, your invoices sit too long as unpaid, or you negotiate an invoice after the fact. That is your collection realization problem. And now here's the third way: total realization. And this is what actually matters. From the moment work is done to the moment cash hits your bank account, what percentage of that survived? So let me show you how this plays out. Let's say your firm worked $500,000 worth of time. You billed $450,000 of it. That means you already lost $50,000 before invoices even went out the door. That's 90% billing realization. Now let's go the next step. Bills are out the door. So you should have billed 500, you only billed 450. Now you only collect 400,000. You've lost another $50,000 after billing. So your collection realization is 89%. And at this point, your total realization is 80%. That means 20% of your revenue disappeared. $100,000 of $500,000. This is not a small problem. It's a structural problem. So this ties directly into what I call profit leaks, which is a core part of how I work with law firms. Because here's what most law firm owners do. They see lower profit and they assume I need more cases, I need more clients, I need to grow revenue. But the real issue is you're already doing the work, you're just not getting paid for it. So instead of fixing the system, you're adding more volume, and now you're just going to make leaking money faster. It's going to be bigger. So let's talk about why this happens. First, there's poor billing discipline. Time either isn't entered consistently into your billing system or invoices are delayed going out. The reality is, the longer you wait to bill, the less likely you are to collect. And that just holds true across any industry, any line of business. Okay, second, there's emotional discounting. And this is huge, and I am guilty. And most things I talk about in my videos, even though I'm talking to law firm owners, I've encountered all of this. I've endured all of it, all the pain. So I know where I'm coming from here. But the emotional discounting is huge. Attorneys discount because they feel bad about how long something took. They want to avoid client pushback and they don't feel confident in their pricing. And this has nothing to do with the client. It's completely internal. So here's another problem: weak collections process. There's no follow-up system, no clear expectations, no enforcement. So if your collections process is passive, meaning you're just going to sit and wait until a client pays an invoice, your realization is going to suffer. So here's another problem: misaligned pricing model. Sometimes the issue is the pricing itself. Flat fees are set too low. Hourly rates don't align with value that you're providing to the client. And if your pricing doesn't match reality, realization will always be low. So here are some benchmarks you should know. 90% realization or higher, so 90% or higher realization is strong. 80% to 90% realization is average. And below 80%, you absolutely have a problem. And I'm going to tell you, most law firms I see are below where they think they are because they're not measuring it. So let's make this practical on how to fix this. Okay, step one, you need to measure it. If you're not tracking realization, you need to start now. You cannot fix what you don't see. And if you have a bookkeeper or somebody doing your billing, ask them to help you with this because they have the information. Step two, separate out the problem. Determine, and it could be multiple. So is it a billing issue or is it a collection issue? And this is where it could be both. So you need to isolate where the leak is happening. And then step three, tighten your billing cadence, meaning invoices should go out consistently and quickly. The longer the delay, the lower the realization. I will tell you, there is no hard, fast rule that a law firm has to bill once a month. I know for the hourly billing, I know that has historically been the way, but you know what? It's your firm. You make the rules. There's no reason why you cannot bill weekly. And I know I get pushed back a lot on weekly billing, but maybe you do it every other week. Okay. And doing billing in shorter intervals, it doesn't mean, so if it takes you 2 days to get invoices out for 1 month, it's not going to take you 2 days to get invoices out every week. You work on less cases each week. So it will be substantially less, but you can end up billing the same dollar amounts, but just getting the money in the door faster makes your cash flow so much steadier. So step four, standardized collections. So you need to clear up any expectations, whether that's with your clients, they need to pay when they get the invoice. Don't put due upon receipt on the invoice. Put a date that the money is expected. Make sure that your staff know who is responsible for consistent follow-up. Make sure you just define the process. Collections should not depend on how busy you are and when you're lacking money. Step five, address your pricing and your behavior. So if you're constantly writing down time, that's either a pricing issue, a confidence issue, or a process issue. And it's not random. So here's the bigger picture. Realization connects directly to your cash flow. That means money coming in and money going out of your firm. Directly impacts owner distributions. Okay. Hiring decisions, profitability. So if your realization is low, everything downstream suffers. And this is why I say most law firms don't have a revenue problem. They have a realization problem. If this sounds familiar to you, and if you feel like your firm is working hard but not seeing the results, start by looking at your realization rate. Because once you fix this, you don't need more work. You just need to get paid for the work you're already doing. And that changes everything. If you want help identifying where your profit leaks are, reach out to me. I work exclusively with law firms on exactly this. And if this was helpful, make sure you subscribe because I break down these financial concepts in a way that actually helps you run a better law firm.